9 a.m. exactly. John, we've done it.
You got some time in there, buddy.
All right.
Has it always been 9
There
a.m.?
we'll go.
Has it always been 9 a.m.?
Yeah. I meant no. We did 5 p.m. for a while.
Gotcha.
Last week was the worst week. First week was supposed to be 9 a.m. But good luck having a strict 9 a.m. schedule when you work with Dennis O'Connor.
Who is apparently dying at home or something.
MIA. Hey, he had a good life. he lived many lives in his 40 years.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from the guy in a week. Welcome to the Thorn 2-pack.
Yeah.
I am Thomas Edward Kiley, GM Thorn Brewing Company, and with me a very special guest.
John Ruiz.
John Ruiz, now on premise.
Yeah, starting
Sales rep
soon,
for
soon.
Stone Distributing.
Yeah.
John, you were a chain rep for us for a while, so chain rep is you did a lot of the off-premise chains,
Yeah. So
such as
grocery-
7-Eleven, Target.
grocery stores and stuff like that.
And then now you're doing on-premise, which is like bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
You're doing what, like the 8 in
like that,
La Mesa, something like that?
Yep. Hell of a
Good for
time
you,
to
bro.
jump on, man. Hell of a time to jump on.
Yeah, great time to be in on-premise.
Yeah.
Whoops.
No, it's all good, man. This is definitely what I want to do. It's just kind of interesting to see, how COVID evolves,
Yeah.
The regulations are changing consistently, and it's such a fluid situation that, I don't know what's going to happen next week or the week after that.
Yeah. God bless you, buddy. I'm happy to have you.
But here we are.
Whatever that's worth.
We're doing it for the sake of the beer, so.
Yeah. Well, happy to have you.
Thanks for having me, bud.
My horror movie podcast, bro.
Yeah. So,
Which was a reminder when the Scream was on today. We haven't posted one of them. We have like 20 of them in the book, so I apologize.
We're
I'm going to get on that this week.
We're closing in on 20, so yeah. If you haven't plugged it before, we're doing a horror movie podcast. So
I haven't even mentioned it.
damn, man, come
I know,
on.
don't tell my father.
You're
He'll
supposed to be plugging stuff.
What are you doing with your time watching horror movies? Okay, so COVID in general affects you, but I don't know how up to date you stay on it. We really have no choice.
Yeah.
Because it's like a day-to-day thing. Like, are we even going to be able to be open?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I've stayed up on it in terms of like how it affects me directly, but coming from
very selfish.
coming from a business or GM standpoint, I'm sure you have different takes on it.
Yeah, well, because we in effect run a bar.
Yeah.
So it is like directly related to our business and like day-to-day. Like,
Sure.
Can people even come into work today?
Yeah.
So we got
Dude, fucking Dennis calling it last week too, man. I was watching that live
Oh, yeah,
stream
he
you guys
nailed it.
did, and he was like, "Yeah, we got 3 to 4 days, and happened in one." So
Yeah, it happened real fast. It's weird. They do it every time where it's like they have like a kind of like a limited like rule for just one area in the state, and then within 24 hours, it's hardcore everyone.
Absolutely.
It's just like
Yeah.
it's so weird the way that it unravels every time.
yeah, it seems like San Diego's been pretty good about it, but the shit rolls downhill. So everything comes down on us very last minute. So
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
stuff.
I know. So the ABC put out today some additional guidance on what constitutes a meal.
Mhm.
It's, first off,
yeah,
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would wish that job on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of like pornography. It's like, I don't know how to define it, but I know it when I see it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in the same thing, they said sandwiches and salads don't count as a meal, but sometimes they can. That's what it says. It's like, oh, cool, great heads up. I appreciate the expertise, but I don't know. We do cheese sandwiches sometimes, cheese sandwiches and chips, but they're substantial. I'm calling them substantial. Are you looking something up?
Yeah, I was looking at. I actually have the notice here, and I was like looking at. So like the last bit is like snacks such as pretzels, nuts, popcorns, pickles and chips. Like that doesn't count as like a bona fide meal.
Which is, I think that's kind of like duh.
Yeah.
But it is tough. Sandwiches are tough. Sandwiches are like that line. Does it count? I think it matters on the sandwich. Like a PB&J, it's like, okay. Even technically, I think, like we're doing, no, if this was a regular cheese sandwich, I'd be like, no, it doesn't count. But you're talking gourmet cheese sandwich with a side of chips?
Yeah.
When we were first like crafting the menu, right? So here in Barrio, we do food from Mishmash.
Right.
And they have, legit like burgers and shit like that. So they have like real
Shout
food.
out to Mishmash.
But they can't they're closed on Mondays, and it's hard for them on the weekends to run the food over. So we just need other stuff those other days. We get food trucks when we can, but when we can't, we need an additional thing.
Right.
In Mission Hills, we're going to start to do direct food from Fort Oak. We were like that close to launching it again, and then now they might have to be closed because of the new restrictions. So it's like, fuck.
Now I know a lot of people had this question, but maybe you can speak to it. Like, what because I believe the stipulation was that you have to have a license to serve food.
Correct. So most like restaurants, it's part of like their license,
Right?
That they inspected by the health department and all that stuff. Well, so that's like one kind of eatery, you could say.
Sure.
Another is you can just be like licensed to host a catering company. So what they did is, in order for bars to stay open for COVID only, they're like, here's the deal: we will expedite your catering license, which allows you to have food on site and have food prepped on site. We'll expedite that. Just apply for it.
Yeah.
And then create a contract with an actual licensed food provider to provide food for you, and then you're good to go.
So technically it's under a catering service.
Yes.
Or a catering license.
So it's not that we're allowed to start making food.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're allowed to host people that can make food is kind of how it goes.
Gotcha.
So they can actually do prep on site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's great. I tell you what, it's better than being like, no, you absolutely have to shut down. So
exactly.
It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to figure out, but like I'll take it.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say this is second wave necessarily, but I feel like this is second wave in terms of shutdown. I feel like businesses and people were pretty well prepared this time around. Having done it the first time already, and taking one step back wasn't that damning to your business.
Yeah.
It's just we're just back to where you just have to buy food again, which isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is what it is.
Yeah.
Real quick, Becky, yes, you can order for pickup today. You can just come to the taste room, 4 to 8, and Adrian Yunan gives a shout out.
Yeah.
So, John, we released 5 new beers in like 2 weeks.
4 beers and 1 seltzer.
Ooh, look at you little sassy boy. Fair enough. And then, is it Michelada a beer? Kind of. Well, we submitted it to JBF, so I guess we'll find out.
Awesome. I didn't know you guys did that.
It's like experimental.
So did you guys submit all 5 to JBF?
No.
Okay.
No, we did do, I don't know, like 8 beers. North Park didn't submit any.
Okay.
And we could submit up to 10 this year, but we did. I got to pull up the list. But it was like, we did Relay and Hopster. I think we're doing the Cryo and like Hazy Pale, Hopster, Hazy IPA.
And North Park didn't submit anything because like you guys were remodeling that thing.
Yeah, but they could.
Okay.
It's just, they're just doing so much shit right now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. And especially now that I think we could do up with the 10. Before we could each only do 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have as many beers as the thing. But so we did, the new ones are the Michelada.
Mm-hmm.
We did the Pink Passion, the Fruited Hazy.
Right.
We did the Cherry Sour, Low Hanging Sour. We have And Beyond, which is our new Essential IPA.
And Black Paw.
And we did Black Paw, the hard seltzer. Have you had them all?
Yes.
What is your number one favorite of that bunch?
The Michelada in a can.
And you can define favorite.
What do you mean? Like,
well, some people,
like
they do it by
why
best.
Why it's my favorite?
Yeah, well, some people are like, when I do a list, it's the one that I think is the best.
Sure.
And then some people do like, no, it is my personal favorite. If the 5 are lined up in front of me, that is the one I want to drink first.
Well, it's going to be kind of two-way for me. My number one is my favorite just because I really like it.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of in order of what's best for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Michelada in a can, it's super, like, it wasn't what I expected. Most Michelada in the cans are very like syrupy or overly sweet or overly tomatoey. It's just saturated in some form or another. With the Michelada in a can, like it's not tomatoey at all, which is weird. When you pour it into a glass, it doesn't even look like a Michelada, which is interesting. But it's got a nice little heat to it, a little bit of clam juice in it, which is fine. Like it's not overpowering. Like it's super well balanced.
See, I want a bloody beer.
I mean,
but it's not about me. You know what I mean?
But
sure. Sorry, continue.
For sure. Well, I mean, the other thing too. I mean, I'm sure you can speak to this. Like, if you make it bloody, then you have to worry about things like making it shelf stable and whether or not it has to be kept cold all the time. So, I mean, for this to be shelf stable, it's pretty killer.
Look at you, John. You're very. That's actually one of the main reasons we didn't do more tomato.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, because it's like, all right, how do we charge a reasonable amount, right?
Sure.
So there has to be like a budget behind it. So
Yeah.
how much tomato juice can we put in is the first question, and still have it be like a reasonable price.
Yeah. So what's the price point on this?
$11.99 for 6-pack.
That's not bad. It's price line with like Relay and stuff.
Yeah. And then the next one is, okay, because this goes in on the cold side, there's going to be fermentable sugars in the can.
Mm-hmm.
If not stored properly,
Yeah.
it could re-ferment and the can could explode, right?
Right.
So how much re-fermentable sugar do we want to add into the can?
Right.
So that's why that we one of the reasons also we add a little bit less
Yeah.
tomato juice. But what I like about it is, so again, my personal preference it would be like half tomato juice. But what I appreciate about it is like you can taste the tomato juice, you can taste the lime, you can taste the ponzu, you can like taste everything, and there's just like so many flavors going on,
right?
And that's what I really enjoy about it.
Yeah. I mean, like personally, I love micheladas. It's my thing. But like, you know, if I don't have the time to make one, or if I don't have mix and beer on hand, you know, having this in a can ready to go is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, that's my number one as well, by the way.
Sweet. Number two, probably and Beyond.
Yep.
Really fucking solid.
Oh, look at you. Look at what birds of a feather right there. I already had mine written down, so I'm not cheating.
All right.
That's why I'm having you go first.
I'm kind of doing mine on the fly.
That's good. So and Beyond is the newest essential. It's replacing Tropic Days.
Yep. Should be the red tops, right?
Yes, correct. I'm with you. I actually had it right off the canning line. And right when I had it, it was a little more bitter that day, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I liked it because we don't normally, our IPAs usually aren't too bitter.
Yeah.
So it was actually like a little bit of a welcome difference, but it's mellowed out since. Not that I'm not complaining, but I like that a lot as well. Actually, I like it better than Tropic Days. I like it better than Pine Hollows.
Really?
Pine Hollows is a like internal favorite essential probably.
Yeah.
I think Service Swine is mine, at least of the past like 4 or 5.
Sure.
If we're going to go all the way back to like Gut Nelson or Far Far Away or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, Gut Nelson was a good favorite of mine. Yeah, you know, funny enough, I found this beer kind of piney, like pinier than Pine Hollows.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I dug it.
Good. I'm glad you dug it.
3 for me, probably the passion fruit, honestly.
Okay. I had Black Paw.
That's my just spoiler alert. It's my last for the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not good.
It turned out surprisingly good. Like usually whenever you add fruit like that, most IPAs can turn like really sweet or like kind of overly like citrusy, like it has that artificial flavor almost. It was actually pretty well balanced. Like you get like kind of bitterness from like a pithy, like kind of peelish flavor, which is weird for passion fruit. Yeah, I mean, it's basically Scarlet Haze with passion fruit, right?
No, hops to pot.
Hops to pot, okay.
Yeah, so it is hops to pot, but instead of dry hopping it, we added passion fruit.
Gotcha.
So I had that fourth. I had Black Pot third, and the reason I had a fourth is I enjoy it. Taylor wasn't a fan. It's because it's a little like tot.
Yeah.
From the now. When it wasn't fully fermented, it was even more tot. It was like
so you think
sour IPA.
Do you think it's going to die off more and more then?
I imagine so. I also think that some of the it also added like a little bit of a bitterness. I don't know if that'll die off as well. I don't think I understand necessarily exactly what passion fruit does and how it ages.
Sure. And that's what a lot of beer is, man, is R&D.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a brewer, so I drink the shit.
I just sell this shit.
I do. It is funny because our director of brewing operations, Sean, he's colorblind, and
oh really?
Yeah, it was supposed to be pink.
Does that look pink to you?
Yeah, it was not pink, dude. When he first did it, it was like orange brown. I'm like, yo, we're gonna have to dump this. The fuck is that?
Yeah.
and then, but he colored it with it's like a grape skin.
Okay.
And just added more grape skin. It just came a little purple.
It definitely came out purple. Yeah.
That's funny because actually, I think purple is the color I initially wanted. I was thinking of, but we were like, pink, purple can get a little too close to gray, and that can look really gross.
Sure.
Pink was a color that he thought that he could achieve, and it would look cool and wouldn't look like dirty.
Yeah.
And so we were like, I'm like, yeah, cool, pink. So that's how the conversation got started, and then but no, it ended up being purple, which I loved. I loved the purple.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
And then 4 for me would be the cherry sour. Low hanging.
4 is the cherry. Yeah, I had it as my 5th. I like my sours a little more tot. This one also, yeah.
See, this one was tart, but it was approachable, because I feel like...
Yeah, well, that's the goal of every beer that we release. The goal is to be able to have 3 of them.
Yeah.
So this is not, like, I would rather I'm going to say like a 25-ounce sour, but really I only want like 4 ounces of it.
Yeah.
But like I only want 4 ounces of like something really butt-puckering sour.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going to drink a full can, I'm going to drink 12 to 36 ounces of sour. I'd much rather have this.
Absolutely.
That's just not my preferred style of sour.
No.
I'd rather just not drink 3 cans of a sour. That's my thing.
No, it's nice. I mean, like, because this sour is really crushable. Like, it's sessionable. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, getting that acid refluxy flavor or feeling in you. Yeah, I mean, it's super, super approachable, so I think it was a win. Because you guys have other barrel-aged sours and stuff that actually hit that mark for people who want, like, really sour, tart, like, funky beer. But this is just, like, a nice little in-betweener. Yeah,
Okay.
I dig it.
And you have Black Paw last.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad seltzer. It's just, it's a seltzer. I mean...
Hey, you're not a seltzer guy. Yeah. You're loyal to beer.
Yeah.
I really like Black Paw. I think...
No, I mean, it's great. It's not even that I don't like seltzers.
You're allowed to shit on things, John, by the way.
I'm not shitting on it. It's just, I'd rather have a beer over a seltzer most times.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I had to fix our sprinkler system earlier on, I don't know, on the 4th of July. Whatever, that's what I did. USA, baby.
Yeah.
Fucking fixing the lawn of the house that I bought 40% of. And I don't know, just like, it was a little early. I was like 11. And I was like, dude, I just want to I want to chug something, but like I didn't have any Barrio in the house or any treading.
Yeah.
It's like I had that and Beyond. I'm like, I just don't want an IPA yet. So I just had a couple seltzers. Yeah. I dug it.
No, I agree with you, man. Like I whenever I'm gaming, with this quarantine, I've gotten more back into gaming. And
what's your game?
Call of Duty.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm not drinking Michelada, I'm drinking a hard seltzer just because I don't want something that'll completely obliterate me. And it's like, why am I playing like shit?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. It's good. It was a good win on your guys' part, and love the branding. So
yeah, cool, bro.
Yeah.
Well, that's your top 5. So I guess I had Black Paw last, and then that was just that. I mean, you had Black Paw last. I had it third, but we had everything else in the same order.
Yeah.
It just ended up. Oh, look at us.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather. Adrian the Michelada will be in Distro in LA, hopefully by the end of July.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, it's going to Stone. Either July 13th or July 20th, depending on what we've got to make sure the labels come in on time. But
Gotcha.
And then I'm under the impression, I got to confirm with Taylor, that it's going to go up to Downey to be distributed through LA. But
so this beer is here to stay for a while. Like it's a part of the core
Michelada.
lineup? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's here, baby.
Sweet. So
so Pink Passion's just a one-off. I don't know if we'll ever make it again.
Right.
Black Paw is here to stay,
Sweet.
or at least some. We'll have one seltzer. Whether that's the one forever, I don't know. But at least be something that hits that kind of beer alternative thing. And then, obviously, In Beyond will only be for a quarter, but that's in Distro.
Yeah.
And then...
But is the Michelada part of, like, the core lineup?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And then with Black Paw, was that what used to be Obey the Law?
I mean, it's a seltzer.
Yeah.
So, but it's just... And I think that one used blackberry as well. It's just so different. Like, it has evolved so much.
Yeah.
Obey the Law. So when we did Obey the Law, we fermented the sugar water and the blackberry together.
Sure.
And then filtered it together, and it pulled out all the pretty much all the flavor of the blackberry.
Yeah.
So this one, they're fermented separate. We have some additional filtering procedures for the next one. So this one has a little bit of a white wine flavor, and there is a little bit of a sulfur smell when you first pop the can. And both of the things will be even continuously mitigated for the next batch with additional filtering processes.
Sweet.
So.
Yeah, looks like Shane's a fan.
Shane, that's my boy. It's my disc golf buddy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He still does disc golfing through all this?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that been going?
He's hardcore. I meant fine.
Yeah, it's like the bandages.
I forgot to bandage it today.
Yeah.
No, I got it. They hit me up today. The I've been going to a what's it called? A clinic. Not emergency. It's a word like emergency. Urgent care.
Okay.
And I don't see a primary care physician. I have one technically, but I've never seen them.
Sure.
So I've just been going back. I'm the only person on the planet that's gone to urgent care like 8 times in a row. But like this thing was just like, it was gross. It was so infected. And then I finished off 2 bottles of like the pills that they gave me. And then it turns out I have some like random niche one-off bacteria in there that's been infecting it. And my pills haven't been doing anything.
Have you told the story?
I just started cleaning it better.
Have you told the story on here of how that happened?
Yeah, when I shoved the knife in my leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just been like, it's the world's longest gaping hole.
Yeah,
it's been over a month.
Like a month, yeah.
The doctor called me from the clinic the other day and was like, yo, this was like over a month ago. I'm like, yeah, I know. But it's in a high tension spot, so it's also not healing.
Right.
So it's a crater in my leg.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I don't know how closely you follow the Brewers Association.
Not terribly
especially
close.
in the distribution end. It's not. It's more of like a brewery thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a national trade group.
Yeah.
And World Beer Cup, CBC World Beer Cup is like their biggest fundraiser every other year for the World Beer Cup. And it got canceled this year because of COVID, so they're like hurting for money. So they just laid off a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And one of the people they laid off is like the coordinator for all the state guilds.
Mm-hmm.
And like 20 or 30 states just petitioned to get that job back. And in it, they posted how much money some of the people made. By no means do I begrudge anyone for making their money. I just, in my head, when I think like nonprofit, I just think top guy is making... this just shows my naivete. I'm thinking like maybe 150.
Right.
Did this dude made like with additional, I don't know, incentives or whatever it was like between $350,000 and $400,000 2 years ago. I was like, damn,
Jesus, yeah,
it's a lot of money. But like, I mean, God bless them, they do a good job. So I'm not gonna like complain. When you think about, all right, what does that extra $350 get you? I'm willing to bet it's more than $350,000 worth of advocacy that is like utilized by all the people, so it is what it is. But now we got to try to find, I don't know, there's just a few empty seats, so that they're talking about maybe offering some additional board positions or like subcommittees and stuff like that to make up for it, which, you know, will be like volunteer driven. So it'll be interesting, man. I am a little concerned about what the future of advocacy is going to be for the industry, just because everyone's going to be hurting.
Yeah.
And a ton of people are going to keep going out of business.
Yeah.
And
so what is
going to be tight.
What does this move mean for you guys as a brewery?
Like of eliminating that position?
Mm-hmm.
It's more like, so the Brewers Association advocates for craft beer in general, right? They also coordinate with the state guilds, and the city guilds coordinate with the state guilds, as I understand it.
Sure.
So what it means for us is like the concerns of San Diego breweries it's going to be harder for those concerns to have a voice on the national level.
Yeah.
Because now our concerns will go to the state level so long as the California Craft Brewers Association maintains their team, which I believe they have.
Right.
So it's pretty much just going to go from our city guild to the state guild, and that's it. So, yeah, I'm more worried about, like, where's it going to end up going, as in where, like, what is Budweiser going to try to do in a year? You know what I mean? Because that's really what it comes down to, is when a major piece of legislation is being offered by a trade group, a different trade group, that either intentionally or unintentionally has a negative effect on us. Mm-hmm. The Brewers Association is there to advocate for our needs, to make sure that we're taken care of.
They're kind of like a system of checks and balances.
Yeah, well, they're an advocacy group, but also like they're a defense group. So sometimes it could just be this completely it could just be that we're collateral damage. It's just like a tax bill that ends up killing us, and no one that wrote the bill really considered craft breweries. Well, that's why they exist, so they can be like, hey, this actually negatively affects craft breweries. Could you do the same thing, but change it like this, and then it'll affect them the way that you are trying to have it affect all of the like businesses.
Right.
So as that, as those people, as people in that organization, if they can't afford to hire them, that's either fewer advocates for us, or it's like the people that maybe we still have the advocates in that group, but now they're going to be stretched thin because they're going to have all these other things to do. They're not going to have as much time. So I think in the short term, it probably won't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's going to be a ton of legislation just pounded through just yet.
Right.
It's more like when things stabilize a little, what's going to happen.
Sure.
So,
which who knows when that'll be.
Jesus, take the wheel, baby.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny, just kind of doubling back on the subject of nonprofits and just the amount of money coming through them. This might be like a very exaggerated example, but so FIFA is technically like a nonprofit organization.
Yeah, okay.
And the president makes about $1.5 million. So
I think fucking what's his name? NFL. Goodell. He makes like 40.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's nuts.
Yeah. And we'll see what's happening with that, man. I mean,
I know.
Because baseball's coming back at the end of the month.
Yeah.
The USL and MLS are coming back on the 11th, as well as something else I'm forgetting. But NFL, is it still on track to come back, or what's the...
Yeah, last I heard, I think they're eliminating 2 preseason games. That was the last I heard.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's doing these condensed like tournament-style seasons.
Well, I mean, baseball's struggling because they're having people that are popping up positive, and it's like, damn, if baseball players can pass it when they're standing on a field like 100 feet from each other, As opposed to the NFL, where they're like shoving their hands up each other's butts.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like when you hear some of the gross stories about like what like linemen do there, like they intentionally shit their pants and stuff like that, it's gross.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's a gross place to be, especially when there's a disease breaking out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so anything that's that physical, you figure that the likelihood of
transmission is
is
very high,
even worse, you know?
Yeah.
So, yikes.
Yeah.
And I love football too. It's like my favorite sport to watch, so I'm a little bummed.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
Do you see Kanye's run for president?
Unfortunately,
I don't think he's really running.
I don't either, because like, so if you stop and take a look at like what you have to do to be able to run right now, like he's gonna have to run as an independent if he seriously wants to do it, and he's already missed deadlines for like 5 states, which amount to about 95 electoral votes, and then in a couple weeks he's gonna miss out on 4 other states, so that by then he'll be down about 150 electoral votes. So a third of what you need is gone, and it's like you have no campaign set up, you have no platform, you haven't done anything other than tweeted I want to run for president. But
also, like, so if you really want to be president, right? Look at what Trump did. Trump started to run for president what, 8 years or something prior.
Yeah.
So like he just got a national ratings boost, which is like half the deal, right? Apparently, like Kanye probably just it's a really good way. All you have to do is tweet, I'm running for president, and be like, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
You get all this national attention. It's the cheapest marketing on the planet.
Yeah.
And then you don't actually have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because imagine like how much did Trump really want to be president? I don't actually know the answer. I imagine he wanted the power, but probably didn't want to do the work.
I don't think he realized what the job was.
Yeah. But he got so much exposure from it. And then once he became president, obviously you want to be like, fuck yeah, I rule the world. It's like a cool gig. But I don't think it's serious. I don't really think it's going to happen.
Yeah, so I mean, on that note, it's definitely not serious right now, but who knows what that'll be in like 3 years, you know? I mean,
like, 2024 maybe. But
I mean, it's exactly the reaction and wave that Donald Trump had, where it's like, this guy's trying to run for president, and it's like he's really trying to run for president, and he's like, oh shit, he's running for president, and it's like, oh fuck, he's president now, you know? Like the joke quickly turns sour, and I don't know what this is going to mean for Kanye. I mean, I know he's got like a contractual obligation with Gap because he's going to be like their creative director or something like that. This could just be a ploy to give him more relevancy and ratings, you know? Because if there's one thing,
gotta get in that Gap money,
dude. Yeah, he's great for like controversy and making headlines, and I mean, more power to him for it. I mean, his brand is stronger because of it.
I don't have any respect for it. I get it; it's effective, but like, I mean, selling cigarettes to kids is probably effective. It doesn't mean it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
So I think like. I don't know. I think those like cheap marketing gimmicky things, like I'm not arguing that they don't work, but
I mean, like, dude,
I don't respect people that do it.
This is legit like a Tiger King move. Fucking Joe Exotic running for president. You know, you think people didn't fucking pick up like tickets to go see him because of that shit?
Yeah.
It's great marketing, man. We'll see if this continues in a couple of years, and then we can kind of take it seriously and see what that means. But for now, it means fuck all. You know?
Yeah.
The reaction to it is pretty hilarious. Like all the memes and stuff coming out, like all the content out there is gold.
Yeah,
priceless.
Well, John, I just realized you're wearing pants and a long sleeve shirt. I'm like sweating through my mask.
Oh no, it's just a windbreaker.
Just a windbreaker.
Just a windbreaker.
Oh, if that's all it is.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, I got to get my day moving.
Sweet, buddy. Thank
you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you.
Great to be on.
All right, take care.